We're back, right?
I'm thinking we're back. I really enjoyed doing this. It was fun. It was almost kind of like I don't know. I just really enjoyed the BSing.
I mean, it's different, right?
Right. Where we're not looking up toys and price and stuff and doing collections and then the feedback was amazing. I mean, so many people, as like a number one question we get is, when's the podcast coming back? When's the podcast coming back? And it did so well initially. And, we just had to do it on our own and
figure it out,
round up all the equipment and then do it. Ultimately, the goal would be once we do, I think, one or two of these and we don't blow up the equipment, then the goal would be to do it live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then people, if we're going to call in, I don't even know how to figure that out. Like, would I call this phone or they call, oops, today they call tech calls.
Yeah, let's do that. Toy Federation. Toy Federation.
We do not buy BDVs.
Do not buy BDVs. How's the weather in Biloxi?
Mm-hmm. Or what did the guy say who called today and yesterday? He called Andy yesterday.
Highly collectible.
Do you buy highly collectible Hot Wheels?
Yeah.
Which we do not.
All right, so I have a theory about Hot Wheels, and I've shared it with a couple of people that have sold Hot Wheels to us or attempted to, and because we usually when we buy Hot Wheels, we buy like 1,500 at a time, so we don't need any for a while.
Yeah.
But my theory is that people want those super hard to find treasure hunts, obviously.
Yeah, which we don't.
Yeah.
But they don't like to pay for it. They want to find it.
All right, they want to. But we have had treasure hunts there because we don't look.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of work. We're 99% action figures, so we do have a Hot Wheels section, and we sell them out for $2. So we don't look.
Right. Yeah. You ever see the old guys at Walmart like digging through the Hot Wheels boxes?
Oh,
they even hit the shelves.
They don't want
like fighting.
Well, they usually have the guy paid off that works there, and they get the key. Because I've seen.
Well, I mean, I've literally seen the pallet of toys and old guys just.
So in the 90s, when Star Wars came back, and when I had a regular job, and I would hit on my lunch breaks, Toys R Us or KB or it was my lunch was running and you would, I might have told this before, but you'd pull up and then you're not the only guy doing the same thing. So you're both walking in kind of quick and then so now you're trying to speed up even a little bit faster, but you don't want to
make an eye contact with that guy.
It's like Jingle All the Way looking for the Turbo Man.
Right. But you don't want him to know that you're kind of looking for toys in a way, but because you're
both going in a toy store.
Right. Yeah, but that's true.
You're looking for that.
But then you see the other guys
going towards G.I. Joe.
You'd see the older guys who were more in their business attire with their tie, and then they were doing the Hot Wheels.
You looking for that half circle Boba Fett? Rookie. I was a kid then, but I knew about what you're talking about because like on a weekend or something, I go visit family or whatever. I would get to go to Toys R Us, and I'd see those guys, and how you're describing it on their lunch break, what you were doing. That's exactly how it is. Just rushing through there.
But I knew I was safe if I saw a guy in a button-up collared shirt, slacks, and a tie. He was going for the Hot Wheels.
Strictly Hot.
So I didn't have to worry about beating him to the Star Wars section. So I could get my short saber, long tray, Luke.
Need that long saber, short tray.
Shot first.
Yeah. That would be interesting. Because it would bust through the package.
Yeah. There's one out there.
Yeah. Well, if there is the guy that comes in here who's hunting them.
Yeah.
Hunting down every Power of the Force. That's going to be his retirement, he said. So,
God bless him.
yeah, right.
You know, and see the whole tiny, like there's collecting, then there's collecting variants or variation, and then there's like Star Wars always goes to the real extreme where it's like you got to get that one with that OO serial number in the UPC.
Oh, right. Because
one.
a lot of the Power of the Force, in the bottom, it would tell you what collection it was, but they would have that same figure. Instead of collection 1, it would say collection 2. So now that's a variant.
Yeah.
And then there's hologram or no hologram. But then I think you could pull the hologram off and it becomes a no hologram. So you could kind of make I think,
variant.
I haven't tried to do that, but
I remember I ran into that with,
I don't have to mute my phone.
it was when the Dark Knight came out and I was going after all those Movie Master figures. And essentially it's like DC Universe Classics, but it's the Batman movie. Anyway, Joker was hard to find. Everybody wanted Joker. But that first release, it was 0-0 in the UPC, and they didn't punch vent holes in the side, which I guess
Why would you even need vent holes?
Right.
something to do with the figure.
So you can get mold growing on the figure?
I don't know. But they put vent holes in toys, and I mean, we should probably find out why they do that. But it's like a bad thing if you don't. At least that's what I read about that Joker figure, because I found one. I was like, oh, wow, this is like $50. And I'm like, but I don't care. So today, I just opened.
I mean, was it like different material?
No,
Rubber,
Because if you,
right?
I mean, it's like any figure nowadays where it has like a ABS, chest and waist, and like an acrylic or whatever the limbs are made of, like a vinyl material.
it's always different, it tends
Yeah.
to be.
So, but like just wanting to go after the crazy, no one noticed variation. And I guess it's fun because like nobody knows. And it's like you're a secret, you and like 5 other guys, But like, if you've ever tried to go that far, like you have to, like, I just wondered, you go like, this is nuts.
It is nuts.
It's crazy.
You're buying the same thing over and over and over. Different number, different.
That's why I stopped
packaging.
collecting modern.
But it's bad in the vintage too. And this guy was very helpful. But remember the blog the guy had about all the package variation.
For which toy line?
Optimus Prime, just Optimus.
Oh, right. It
It's
was
like
ridiculous.
25 package variations.
Yeah, no, that was, yeah.
And he had all the information, which was great. But then it's like,
There's numbering on the back of the cab and then the connecting of the trailer,
right, the numbers have to match.
Match, yeah.
which we've never known that until that.
Yeah.
And you might be mixing up. Like it was that in the weeds.
Yep.
Well, it's just like now that with the original Boba Fett, you would give a black or what it looks black, but it's blue black. And it has to be a specific one. And then there's a site, which I think is Variant Villain, maybe.
Mhm.
And if your head will explode
Trying on variation.
Yeah.
trying to look at the 50, and I'm exaggerating, but like the 50 variations of a Stormtrooper blaster.
Oh, yeah.
And some of it is so subtle that, it's just give me the blue black. Like it's just fine.
Well, it's like learning about the different shades of the turtle weapons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because the 12 shades of brown or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like, I've gotten to where, like, certain weapons, like, okay, from afar, like, that's storage shell. I can see that before I even get to it just because I know that shade. And then there's, like, a gradient in the 88, 89, 90, and then all the real releases that they've done. So many shades of brown that it's to the point that when we put them together,
It all looks the same.
I just try to match all the colors.
That's right.
I was using my flashlight on my phone.
But then some are like what is it? I don't know. The wrap, like on the side was different.
So yeah, there's a wrap variation on the side for the Raphael, which I don't exactly know what that means other than it's just an alternate mold that they had. to produce the weapons.
Well, they're really hard to find beaded nunchucks.
Beaded nunchucks. That's right, nunchucks.
They do exist because we've had them, but they're really
Yeah, I think we've had
two.
one. Yeah, like but built one
Yeah.
Michelangelo out of it. Yeah, and that's been it. And it's, if you haven't seen it, the best way to describe it is those tags. You know, like I don't know. You put them in your, like, you go buy like a shirt or something, and some of them have like this loop, and it'll be beaded.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Like the white rings or whatever.
Yeah, the white. It looks sort of like that on a very small scale, and they're so easily breakable. And
Well, they're gone. They all break.
yeah,
It's hard to find unbroken nunchucks.
that's true. Yeah, unless it's I think the movie one. They had a lot thicker cord, but then that's another shade of brown too.
Mutating ones. Those are
Yeah. Oh yeah, those are really thick.
Well, we got the expansion
working.
almost done. It's been a year in the making, but as everything's blown up, like this is one of the things that, and I do my best to accommodate everybody, is with the success of the YouTube, it's, we average, I always say this, it's at least 3 people a day new.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 5 is like what I say, who are here for the first time, coming because they watch us on YouTube. And then, so as the store gets busier, it gets difficult to do the other projects, which is why it's taken so long to get this done, to where, I don't even do a whole lot of shows anymore because we stay so busy. And, once this expansion's done, it'll free up, because there could be 2 of us in the back just nonstop working on that. But then if somebody comes in from out of town, then you feel like you need to want to try to come up forward and say, hey, and
Be a presence.
Right. And then that's really opened the floodgates for the amount of product that's been coming through the door, as well as what's being offered to us from all over the country.
The world.
Yeah.
I spoke to a guy today offering a collection from UK, and I spoke to another guy from Canada. I know I've spoken to somebody from, I think, South America this week.
Oh, and then we'll get a thumb drive, or we had a guy mail us a box. Like, I don't think he uses technology much, so he literally mailed us a box with hundreds of photographs.
Yeah.
So then you're looking through actual pictures, and then all of these things have to get accomplished when the store isn't busy or the phone isn't, like, you need that time when there's nothing happening, which is seldom. So then I get behind on what I call the remote trades, because you have to deal with what's in front of you. And then when that calms down, you might get time to do the other. So I always just tell everybody to be patient,
right?
Like, because we'll get to it, but then it also creates, well, they're going to buy everything. So then we get sent stuff that we just don't need.
Yeah.
And not that it isn't good, but if I have 50 of it in the back, I don't unfortunately need to tie up any more resources into something that I have 5 years worth of inventory on.
Well, the other thing too is, and it's something that we get more of a chance to see than anybody else, is it's not just if we have 50 in the bag. Sometimes it's, well, this just really doesn't sell well for us.
So, right.
Yeah.
And it could be good and bad things, because like a good thing that doesn't sell for us, Mezco 112.
Yeah, for whatever reason, and it does not move here.
My theory on that's always been that why would I pay $80 to $100 for this figure right here when I can go over and get a Marvel Legends for $20, $30?
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that it's not a quality product, because it is. I mean, they have cloth.
Oh, they look incredible.
Yeah.
Or the ones you have, that's not the ones they want.
Right.
And they usually tend to want the exclusive ones, or something that's for a show or Comic-Con or
Yeah.
Mesco Direct. So yeah, we kind of, even in the old store, but the line was small. I think it was Frankenstein or Star Trek.
Spider-Man, there's a couple of
They got
random
everything, huh?
properties.
Oh yeah, no, it's great, but it's just I remember when you could get 12-inch figures for $35-$40 from Sideshow, and now you got to pay $80-$90 for a 6-inch.
Yeah.
From with cloth goods.
Yeah. But then there's things where it's like the line's okay, but or it's not good at all. It just doesn't sell, and a lot of people a few years ago might have bought into something pretty hot, and now it's stalled out, and it's bad because some toy companies they start a line, it goes for a while, then they abandon it.
Well, what I'm curious to find out, speaking of that, is now that Mattel's got DC back, how's it going?
So has that been confirmed? Because somebody called and told me that.
That's confirmed.
So McFarlane lost
DC.
Which means I guess Mattel will be back and do 6-inch again? Because I guess McFarlane was doing its own scale.
So does that make his Jaegers go up? Does it make it go down?
Typically, in my experiences, then that will nobody's going to buy it anymore. It'll get high-end, and happened with the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
As soon as Hasbro got the Power Rangers, the band died, nobody bought them.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because we can't. What's that? Not Lightning Cloud. Legacy or
The Legacy was the only good stuff that it maintained its values.
what's the Bandai 6-inch scale figures?
Yeah, they're over there.
Yeah, no, I just can't remember the name of it. Where's Craig? Well, but yeah, you're right. The black box of the Lightning. Anyway, those I don't even remember the last time we sold one of those.
So those also didn't give you the actors' head sculpts. So when Hasbro took over,
you got
so then they were just worlds apart, and they were also almost McFarlane-ish scale.
Yeah,
they were
bigger than 6.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as Hasbro got the license and started really going strong, and now they don't even do it. I think Playmates is doing Power Rangers. They licensed it to them.
Yeah, sold off properties and
Hasbro's doing some stuff.
They're an IP company, right? They want
to focus on their board games and digital content, video games, and just let everybody else make their toys.
That's not cool. I don't like.
Well, it's not the Hasselfeld brothers anymore. It's big corporate.
Right.
Yeah.
It used to be a family business.
Yep.
Yeah.
When
they brought the G.I. Joe line back, you hear Kurt Bazigian talk and the Toys That Made Us and how he goes, I'm going to go talk to my dad. And he's like, wait a minute, his dad's dead. And it's like he went to the grave,
to tell him it's back.
Yeah, that was so good.
Cemetery.
Yeah. Yeah, and now it's just it's some guys in a boardroom I want to make video games.
And I also think those were dads and stuff working there, really invested. And now I think there's a lot of young people, which not that that's bad, but it's they're just.
It's a job.
It seems like every company that does this wants to do something else. Like we're a drink company. I want to make crackers.
Right.
Why? Why are you changing? Just
why they're not making 3 3/4 Joes is baffling to me. It's your IP.
Super 7 is.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see where that goes.
Oh, from what I've seen, to me, they're not good. That's my opinion.
Well, I don't know.
I am excited that we're going to get a classified Cold Slither set. Because that comic I did, I still got some issues left that has Cold Slither on the covers and the so I'm taking those to Joe Fest in Toylina. And if I have any left, Retro Toy Con. But that's the ultimate classified Dreadnoks.
Yeah.
And the band Cold Slither, come on.
Anytime there's been a box set of a rock band in a property, it always does well. They did one for Turtles. It did well.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's another one I'm not thinking of. I mean, just rock bands in general, Kiss does well.
Because they got the drum set. They got all the hella stuff.
Guitar.
And I'm really interested to see what the box set, how the presentation, the packaging. If it's
sold out stage.
Put Gem on there and that'd be my cover.
One of my favorite sets, and I want to open it, but I'm never going to. It's a box set of Devo.
Oh, because that's nutty.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Well, I don't remember because when we got it, I bought it from you.
Oh, so then I did see it.
Yeah,
Maybe I saw it so short it didn't register with my brain. You scooped it up.
NECA. And they had two ways. They had one where it was a single figure with 5 heads you could switch out.
Jeez.
Or you bought this box set and it came with an autograph in it.
Really?
Which was, yeah.
An autograph? So
Well, the whole band.
I was gonna say so an autographs.
I thought you were going to say it was 5 figures with 1 head.
Well, their bodies are all the same.
Yeah. But Devo would do that. That'd be, yeah.
They should do more band stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We get asked that a lot in the shop, and then really it's McFarlane and NECA did some stuff that I'm aware
I
of.
mean, it's what Metallica, Kiss, Ozzy, Iron Maiden.
Yeah, but there's, they could.
I mean, they could do anything. I'm
He's doing it.
what what has been done.
I know he did the AC/DC guy, the guitarist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did Bon Scott, too, the Satyr. Bon Scott and Angus Young.
Yeah, I remember we had that one.
Um,
There's not enough musician stuff.
Blitzway.
Oh, Blitzway, yeah, they did 1/6.
They did 1/6. They did a 1/6 Kurt Cobain.
Oh, really?
It's like $1,000.
Jeez.
You can't find it.
Well, if you're a fan, that's really, well, there was the NECA did a figure.
Yeah, NECA did a figure, but that's like $150 or something, I guess.
That's right. There's an Elvis figure.
Oh, the Fallen did a lot of Elvis.
Hendrix, Doors, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Janis Joplin.
I wanted one of those Hendrix figures. Never saw one.
We had a couple here.
Well, I'm talking about years ago.
Wow, right.
I never knew. Like after that, I don't collect Hendrix stuff anymore. But
I think Super 7 does stuff with some.
Oh, yeah, no, they did,
the three, yeah,
I mean, yeah, no,
the reaction.
Wu-Tang Clan.
yeah,
Yeah, they did all the Iron Maiden stuff.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
yeah.
Well, the other work was amazing.
They've done what? Notorious B.I.G., Tupac.
I think they did the Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys. That's what I was trying. Yeah, they've done Sabotage,
DMC.
Run DMC. Yeah, they've done a bunch of musicians, which are great.
It's just they're not super.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're like a Kenner Star Wars figure.
yeah. It's not.
It's also that package art and and just to say you have something.
The card art's great on it.
The old McFarlane stuff was amazing.
Yeah.
Even NECA.
There's I don't know who it does the painting for that. I guess it's part digital or whatever, but
Oh, I think there's for.
the card art for
I thought it was one of the real artists, album cover artists. Like somebody told me this whole story. I just don't remember.
okay. So then they have an actual
Like the Planet Apes ones were incredible.
yeah. The Thundercats was digital though, or some digital. I don't know it, but anyway, all the He-Man was painted, which looked great.
Yeah, I like the He-Man.
Yeah.
So that's when you put extra effort into something. Because like when Reaction first came out, it was licensed to Funko.
Mhm.
So the initial run minus those unreleased Alien figures were all put out by Funko, and they all just did a picture, like a photograph. So that was cheap and easy.
Well, and it was, and I thought it was cool because when that started up, there was a huge display in Toys R Us, Walmart, Target, what was it?
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble had a huge display, and I mean, they were $10.
Oh, right.
I
The
thought
cost was $6.50, I think, and retail was $9.99. And you got Back to the Future right out the bat, like in Escape from New York,
Terminator,
right?
and a bunch of horror characters.
Yeah, it was incredible. But I still prefer the painted versus a picture. But anybody who's had enough of this stuff, the bubbles come clean off.
Ah, yes. I was just going to say that.
Clean off. So clean, there's no tearing.
Yeah.
It's like they used a really crappy glue process.
I know. At least the cards look like so pristine.
Oh, yeah, they're like proof cards.
Yeah.
You got them from the fact, insider.
Yes.
Because I remember
You could have sealed cases and the others would come off.
you opened a sealed case of leather faces, and like every single one of them was slid off in the box that you had just opened.
So when I did a private signing with Kane Hodder at a show, this is many years ago, and I had like 4 cases. And we sit at the table and we open them and start to pull, that one's good. And the figure's in the box. And it's like, and he's like, yeah, that's all right. I'll just sign. And I was like, yeah, but it's not a carded figure. It's like, and then if you don't glue it right, you see the glue underneath when you do it. So it's never.
Yeah, it's never perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Funko, for giving us pristine card backs.
Yeah. And then they were all curved.
Yeah.
They were all curved. So they didn't stay flat.
Yeah, it was fun for no one, really. I mean, because you open the figure, you're not getting a lot of action out of that guy.
Yeah. You could put him in an X-Wing. Sit him by Lane Streeter. So yeah, it's the Kenner 2.0. Then Hasbro's doing it now. The retro. They're running all the yak face and all this stuff again. And it's like, oh man. I get it if you don't want to spend $500 or whatever for a minty yak face. You get one it's just, it's more stuff to keep track of.
Yeah.
But I think, they minted it different. It's, the weapon. You can tell.
Yeah. I mean, most time when they reproduce something, there's always some telltale sign, like the commemorative He-Man. Yeah. If you look at the bottom of their foot, they've got like
ridges.
Yeah, there's a ridge all the way around the edge of it.
Yeah, I was thoughtful.
Right, and that's just a quick way to spot, because it did change the year. With the Star Wars, I think they changed the weapons, the coloring, just little things here or there. So, no.
Yeah, but you marked.
Right.
Yeah, so it's. But we are close to the expansion.
Yeah, getting there.
If I didn't finish that, probably 4 to 5 weeks ish, and it'll probably be ready sooner than the date because we want to create an event, and we want enough notice so people from out of town could try at least. They have enough notice to try to work. I'm gonna plan on bringing a guest who would do autograph signings, food truck, and you're gonna see stuff we've never had.
Lots of tourists.
The space to show. Toy lines we've never had out on display. And yeah, it's going to be really cool.
I want to tell everybody the truth, so we're going to do what every company does and change what we do, and it'll be a bakery in the burger.
Toy Federation cookies.
I want donuts.
We could do donuts. I don't really like donuts. I only like old fashioned. I don't like all the sweets.
I love Krispy Kreme. I love to.
See, everybody loves Krispy.
I don't like them.
They're fine. It's just, it's like if I eat cake,
I eat sugary air.
I eat the inside. I don't eat the icing.
That's what I do.
I don't
like
if I eat a cupcake, I wouldn't eat the top. I want the bread part.
I'll scrape off like literally half of
it. Yeah. But I do like ice cream. We all eat all of it.
Yeah. I know. But I love to take a cupcake, tear the bottom off, set it on top. Cupcake sandwich.
I like ice cream cake.
Karma saying how you don't have diabetes.
Not yet.
He like lives off sugar.
Not yet. Well, he has to.
Well, I'm like, what was? I don't know what drink it was. It was like a red fruit punch bottle you were drinking one day, like last Saturday maybe.
So what's the energy drink?
No, it was like a soda, a red something soda.
Oh, Sundrop.
Dude, I picked it up and looked at the back. It's like, I went into a coma.
10,000 grams.
85 grams of sugar. Well, I want 149% of your daily allowance.
Yeah. Well, I hadn't had a soda in a while. Well, you won't need them for a while. That's true. I still feel it. Side drop.
Through my mind.
Heart attack drop.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I do have to have some sugar.
Well, everybody does.
But I don't feel good if I don't have at least
you're diabetic.
But is that when you get? But when you get used to having something and you take it away and you have withdrawals and you have to have it, isn't that how that works?
I just have a hard time thinking straight unless I have a little bit of sugar per day. And
you have to go to sugar camp, get weaned off it. It's like I stopped drinking soda a long time ago, even though I did have one today. But it's like maybe once a month.
Yeah.
It gives me a headache with the sugar. Because when you get used to not having it, then it's like a problem when you have it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't drink that much soda either, but every now and then you get to have one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's certain foods, like if I have pizza it's either soda or a beer or something. Like it's got this, or Chinese food, soda's really good with it. I don't know why. They counter out the soda. I don't know.
I had to make water with.
I usually drink. Oh, I know. Water's boring with that.
No,
Soda.
I usually wake up like 2 hours later. I'm like, I'm so thirsty.
like you were licking a salt block.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I'm hungry again.
Yeah.
Time for some more Chinese food.
That's true. Yeah. I want to eat Chinese food 100% of the day.
Sushi.
I would be able to get away from sugar.
I like Japanese more than Chinese.
I will just include that
Yeah.
with it because I don't.
Asian cuisine.
Asian cuisine.
Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer concert.
You must have known one.
I did.
See, there you go.
It was incredible.
It was like 6th grade graduation.
It's not 6th grade. It was not the Orange Bowl.
We should probably.
I bet it was in Miami.
I know, it was in Tampa.
Close enough.
And it was called the Sun Dome, I think, at the time.
I don't know when this happened, but at some point, this is like a running gag with me and Andy, where Ryan has seen practically every musician from 87 to 91.
Probably more.
Ever, and it is
Maybe later. Than...
well, okay, but the whole thing was, it was like whenever something came up from that time period, you were like, oh yeah, I saw him at this.
Because it doesn't matter what song comes on. It's like, oh, you know.
Yeah. And you have seen a lot of people, but then the joke with me and Andy was the events that you saw them at became more and more like mundane.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, I was doing laundry one day and there was a concert right outside the window. Like,
I was hanging clothes.
saying your clothes.
But didn't you see a concert or something for one of your graduations, or someone played at one of your deals or something?
I don't know if we talked about this, but it could be with.
But I think this is where this started with me and him.
So if we talked about this, I apologize. But if you went to school in Florida, and I'm assuming it was statewide, for graduation there was a thing called grad night, and you got to go to Disney World, and I forget what you paid, and then the school bus drove you to Orlando, and you were there. It was like after hours, and then I even think when it was over, it drove us back. Like, we didn't stay anywhere. Like, you drove there, and the weekend that we went, and then it was like for, let's say, an entire month. Could have been longer, I don't know. But it's kind of like, yeah. It's like if you went to,
Like
you remember,
see kind of thing.
well, I'm conflicting stories now, because like being from Florida, when we went to MGM Studios, which it's now I think Hollywood Studios, they had Star Wars weekends, and you could pick what weekend you went, and there was different guests depending on what weekend. So there was different bands depending on what weekend was your weekend for grad night. And so my weekend was, I know for a fact Samantha Fox, that's where we went. Because, why not?
Well, right.
Because then, and it was Information Society, and I thought it was either Backstreet or New Kids. I don't know. You got to remember, this is 80.
Y'all were New Kids then.
Yeah.
Backstreet.
Oh yeah, it was New Kids.
And then there was some country band. So they had like different parts of the park, different people. But Samantha Fox played literally in front of the castle, which we thought was probably the most inappropriate for her.
Right.
That may be appropriate now. I don't,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
but she was cool. And so we were right up. Like, if this was the stage, I was right. And I have like a picture of it somewhere on my
School took him to
files.
Andy, his school took him to MGM Studios.
No, that was no, not that. MGM was for Star Wars weekends.
Star Wars weekends.
This was grad night.
So, but your school took you to Disneyland, right?
We also went to Cape Canaveral too.
Land is in California.
I had to go to Royal Coca-Cola. There was nothing there. There was an Italian soda that tasted terrible, and that was all I remember from that.
But I did do a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
And
We to a paper mill.
but yeah, the concerts were just, and then when you lived on campus, so when we were in college, everybody, what?
Got me.
Wait,
To a paper.
yeah. Well, that's pretty exciting. I see Vanilla Ice
Yeah.
and MC Hammer, and you go to a paper mill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, that was on my own though. Like, so you could have.
Just to remember all the field trips that we took. And
No, mine were like, up north, everything was Revolutionary War based. It was like Iron Trail, Paul Revere's house.
I saw Tesla and Firehouse. It was cool. Because Tesla was like signs everywhere, and it was baby, don't cheat me, Firehouse.
yeah.
Finally found the love. Yeah, that was awesome.
Where'd you see them?
I don't know I don't know where that one was. That was at some specific place, but a lot of them I saw at the Rocket Club, which was, if any band came to town, no matter how big the stadium in Tampa,
That was like the main hang.
they made a point to go there even though you couldn't put 100 people in there. It was just like famous. So when you walked in, there was photographs on the wall of any band you could think of. So they did a point to stop there. And then we would go there a lot. And then there was a lot of local bands that, they were just known in that town, but you could tell they were like on the edge of, because, you could tell the bands that are really,
Like they're going somewhere.
it's kind of like if you go to a show, you equate it to like there's a guy who sets up his booth and it's some Walmart shelves and there's just fans and stuff on the table. Then you go to a guy's booth and it's 20 foot high, grid wall, 40 feet wide. It's crazy. There's lights.
Yeah.
So then you would see musicians that they're just starting out, like, they don't, and then there are these guys that were like, this guy, I'm surprised you don't have a record yet kind of thing. Like you guys are so, but then there was a couple that you would see that would make it. But yeah, we I don't know, but the Vanilla Ice thing was so cool because there was I don't know, like we just walked around and we're getting phone numbers. I don't know. It was fun, but there was
I was like, I'm off my chair. Can I have your number?
I know karate.
Yeah, that.
Per mail.
Well, yeah, you could already.
Come some souvenirs.
Oh no, where is this? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I just remember most of my field trips was like, well, when I was at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't really do anything cool.
See, in Florida, we did like cool things. There was, I don't know.
I mean, I got to go to
like we would do SeaWorld, like, I don't know. There was this one place, I forget what it was called, but it was across from there was the Miami Seaquarium. And then there was this place across from it that I remember they had like they had an iceberg in the place. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, but they kept it.
Yeah. Cold. Yeah.
Right. So it's just cool that there's an iceberg in a building.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. As a kid, it was cool. I think that was across from the Seaquarium, but I don't remember what that place was called. But Cape Canaveral was really cool, seeing the big Saturn V rocket.
Yeah, he got cool field trips.
Yeah.
Well, I even think we did Coral Castle.
Yeah.
Which is that Ed Leedscomb or something.
All the weird stuff.
Yeah, he built the giant walls, coral reefs,
Coral Castle.
Chairs.
and it's like the impossibly.
It was this tiny little
Yeah.
guy, and supposedly there's it was on the old In Search of with Leonard Nimoy. And how did he move these stones and nobody saw him move it? And he moved locations.
Yeah.
And it used to be in the middle of nowhere, and then civilization went all the way past it. So it's so weird. There might be like a McDonald's and it's this
coral wall.
Yeah. Then there's this monster door that
it spins. You just touch it.
Yeah, it just opens. It's like a coral rocking chair, and
yep.
Supposedly like the magnetic forces in the earth or something, and he was able to.
No, he was a mutant.
Stonehenge, yeah, pyramid.
It's pretty cool. You could buy his book.
Didn't tell you how to do it, so I'm not interested.
He's not going to tell you.
He's not going to tell you.
Leonard Nimoy didn't know either.
Yeah.
Robert Stack. That was that was a unsolved mystery.
My favorite field trip was and this isn't going to be cool to you, but it was like we went to the High Museum of Art in Atlanta, and great exhibits and everything. But the reason why I'm telling the story is like years later, I'm watching Manhunter.
Oh, you tell me this. It was filmed there.
Right. So that's Red Dragon, as most people know it. But they had tried to make this in the late 80s, early 90s, right? And it is
the Michael Mann one?
The Michael Mann one.
Right.
And so you've got it's the same story that Red Dragon is, and it's got your investigator, I forget his name now, but anyway, so he's having to go talk to Hannibal Lecter, which is played by Brian Cox, which is great.
Right.
It's like I watch, I'm like, I like him as Hannibal Lecter too, because Brian Cox is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're filming their discussion, and he's in his cell, and now he's doing the whole thing where he's like, "You stink of fear," and you like scares the Will Graham. That's the investigator's name. And so then he can't deal with it, so he runs out of the building, which is filmed very dramatically. And he's running down these stairs, and I'm like, man, why does this look familiar? Why do stairs look familiar? What is this? And then he runs by what is the gift shop, and that's when I recognized it.
So that's cool.
I was like, oh, they filmed the institution, the mental institution that Hannibal Lecter is in, at the High Museum of Art, which is
It's the magic of movies.
yeah, it's pretty good.
And then the next room was a different place, probably.
Yeah.
That he wanted those stairs or something.
Yeah, and I remember like, man, I've seen and then when I realized what it was, I was like, oh yeah, it's just a big spiral. It's not even stairs, but it's just an incline hallway.
So did they show the gift shop and the?
They had faced it up with like, oh, this is whatever part of the mental institution we're not gonna film, but like they didn't leave the gift shop. Sounded great.
That might be cool.
Magazines.
But it was funny because I was like, okay, I think they filmed more things in Atlanta around that area, but I don't know. I filmed a lot in Atlanta now.
Well, now I think practically everything in Marbles, right?
Yeah.
Where the Bad Boys last one, like everything.
Well, it would come back around if one of these toy companies would just make Manhunter toys.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, good.
We'll see. Or we can make our own. All right. I appreciate you guys sticking with us so long. We finally came back. And now, if there's no kinks in this one will go up, and we're going to get in the habit of doing this every week and hopefully ultimately go live. So, see ya.
Tell the way, man.
Tell them no, man.
Tell them, man.
Toy Federation.